Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 7, Book 62, number 112. Narrated by Sal bin Sa'd. Abu Asad as-Sa'idi invited the Prophet to his wedding party, and his wife served him on that day, and she was the bride. She said, or Sal said, "Do you know what she soaked for Allah's apostle?" She soaked some dates for him, in water, in a drinking bowl overnight. Volume 7, Book 62, number 113. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, "The woman is like a rib. If you try to straighten her, she will break. So if you want to get benefit from her, do so while she still has some crookedness." Volume 7, Book 62, number 114. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should not hurt, trouble, his neighbor. And I advise you to take care of the women, for they are created from a rib, and the most crooked portion of the rib is its upper part. If you try to straighten it, it will break, and if you leave it, it will remain crooked, so I urge you to take care of the women." Volume 7, Book 62, number 115. Narrated by Ibn Umar. During the lifetime of the Prophet we used to avoid chatting leisurely and freely with our wives lest some divine inspiration might be revealed concerning us. But when the Prophet had died, we started chatting leisurely and freely with them. Volume 7, Book 62, number 116. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. The Prophet said, "Every one of you is a guardian and every one of you is responsible for his wards. A ruler is a guardian and is responsible for his subjects. A man is a guardian of his family and responsible for them. A wife is a guardian of her husband's house and she is responsible for it. A slave is a guardian of his master's property and is responsible for that. Beware, all of you are guardians and are responsible for your wards." Volume 7, Book 62, number 117. Narrated by Aisha. 11 women sat at a place and promised and contracted that they would not conceal anything of the news of their husbands. The first one said, "My husband is like the meat of a lean weak camel, which is kept on the top of a mountain which is neither easy to climb, nor is the meat fat, so that one might put up with the trouble of fetching it." The second one said, "I shall not relate my husband's news, for I fear that I may not be able to finish his story, for if I describe him, I will mention all his defects and bad traits." The third one said, "My husband is a tall man. If I describe him, and he hears of that, he will divorce me. And if I keep quiet, he will neither divorce me nor treat me as a wife." The fourth one said, "My husband is a moderate person like the night of Tihama, which is neither hot nor cold. I am neither afraid of him, nor am I discontented with him." The fifth one said, "My husband, when entering the house, is a leopard, and when going out, is a lion. He does not ask about whatever is in the house." The sixth one said, "If my husband eats, he eats too much, leaving the dishes empty, and if he drinks he leaves nothing, and if he sleeps alone, away from me, covered in garments, and does not stretch his hands here and there so as to know how I fare, get along. The seventh one said, my husband is a wrongdoer or weak and foolish. All the defects are present in him. He may injure your head or your body or may do both. The eighth one said, my husband is soft to touch like a rabbit and smells like a zarnab, a kind of good-smelling grass. The ninth one said, my husband is a tall generous man wearing a long strap for carrying his sword. His ashes are abundant and his house is near to the people who would easily consult him. The tenth one said, my husband is Malik, and what is Malik? Malik is greater than whatever I say about him. He is beyond and above all praises which can come to my mind. Most of his camels are kept at home, ready to be slaughtered for the guests, and only a few are taken to the pastures. When the camels hear the sound of the lute, or the tambourine, they realize that they are going to be slaughtered for the guests. The 11th one said, my husband is Abu Zar, and what is Abu Zar, i.e., what should I say about him? He has given me many ornaments, and my ears are heavily loaded with them, and my arms have become fat, i.e., I have become fat. And he has pleased me, and I have become so happy that I feel proud of myself. He found me with my family who were mere owners of sheep and living in poverty, and brought me to a respected family having horses and camels and threshing and purifying grain. Whatever I say, he does not rebuke or insult me. When I sleep till late in the morning, and when I drink water, or milk, I drink my fill. The mother of Abu Zar, and what may one say in praise of the mother of Abu Zar? Her saddlebags were always full of provision and her house was spacious. As for the son of Abu Zar, what may one say of the son of Abu Zar? His bed is as narrow as an unsheathed sword, and an arm of a kid, of 4 months, satisfies his hunger. As for the daughter of Abu Zar, she is obedient to her father and to her mother. She has a fat well-built body, and that arouses the jealousy of her husband's other wife. As for the maid, slave girl of Abu Zar, what may one say of the maid, slave girl of Abu Zar? She does not uncover our secrets but keeps them, and does not waste our provisions, and does not leave the rubbish scattered everywhere in our house. The 11th lady added, one day it so happened that Abu Zar went out at the time when the milk was being milked from the animals. And he saw a woman who had 2 sons like 2 leopards playing with her 2 breasts. On seeing her, he divorced me and married her. Thereafter I married a nobleman who used to ride a fast tireless horse, and keep a spear in his hand. He gave me many things, and also a pair of every kind of livestock, and said, eat of this, O Zar, and give provision to your relatives. She added, yet, all those things which my second husband gave me could not fill the smallest utensil of Abu Zar's. Aisha then said, Allah's apostle said to me, I am to you as Abu Zar was to his wife Zar. Volume 7, Book 62, number 118. Narrated by Ursa. Aisha said, while the Ethiopians were playing with their small spears, Allah's apostle screened me behind him, and I watched that display, and kept on watching till I left on my own. So you may estimate of what age a little girl may listen to amusement.